In just 2 years, this became this. About 2 years ago, we were canning a half bushel of fresh peaches, and Dan took a look at one of the pits and said, I'm gonna save these. I'm gonna grow some trees. And I was like, okay. But really, he was onto something, because we tend to always throw these out, right? But these aren't trash, they're treasure. These are quickly becoming the future of our orchard. So come on, I'm gonna have Dan show you the progress that's been made on the little saplings from the pits that we planted last year.
I'm really excited because today is the day I finally get to take these peach trees, which I've been growing up here for about a year, and put them in separate pots, giving them the next stage of their development. Really exciting. We've got about 8 of them here, and I'll show you exactly what you do after they've all grown kind of together. They're going to be a little bit root bound, how you dig them out, and then how you plant them in separate pots. If you look at this from a distance, it looks like these are all different branches of the same tree. But if you look down into the pot, each of these twigs is actually a different tree. Originally, late last summer, I planted about 20 pits in this container, and 8 of them survived, which is actually pretty good for having overwintered them in a protected place under the canopy of the trees here at our woods. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to tip this to the side, and I'm going to allow these to break apart. There's going to be some intermingling of the roots, and we'll see how much it will take to be able to separate these out. Before I want to separate the root ball, I need to add a little bit of water, and this is really the case for anything you have potted that you're going to transplant. It helps to be able to separate things out of the pot, away from the pot, and also to help with the trauma that you would experience. So having it wet is better than not having it wet. It'll help the plants to be able to just be able to slide out a little bit better. So I'll put enough water in there to make my process a lot easier. Now that the root ball is out of the main vessel, I can start working the soil off of the root to make them more bare root. So just very gently and softly, I'm going to work my fingers around here to work the loose soil off without hurting any of the roots. And this process might take a while because you don't want to really traumatize it more than it needs to be. I'll keep working on this and separate each of these out separately. So we have now 8 beautiful little trees with the root systems intact. Some are a little bigger than others, and when I choose the pots that are going to go in next, I'll use obviously the smaller pots for smaller trees and larger pots for some of the ones that are more developed. So I have my first little tree to transplant, and I've chosen one of the smaller pots, and I've added some of the same soil that it came out of, because this soil actually is in pretty decent shape, and put about 1 inch of it on the bottom with a little bit of new from the garden store. And I have about, like I said, 1 inch on the bottom. What I want to do with this is I want to make sure that this root does not get compacted. And so I want, as best as possible, to suspend this kind of in the air, and then I want to fill my dirt around the tree. We want to fill to the point where the tree is used to having the level of the ground, which you can always tell because once you take it out, you can see where the dirt line was. The tree is used to that, and so you want to keep that same level as you fill around it. So I'm just making sure that I suspended this tree in the air a little bit as I'm filling around it. Again, I'm holding it up and working the soil, the new and the old, around it. And eventually, as it's suspended there, it will be able to rest then against the fill around it. And I'll have this nice little tree that has its perfect mark where the soil was originally, and all of those roots, none of them have been compacted. They're all going down and are able to spread out on that soil. That should make it very happy. A little bit of water and it's ready to set aside. So here's a second tree, and you notice that it's a little larger, but I'm using the same process, and I'm just using a larger pot. Suspending that in the air with the root hanging down, and by the time that fill dirt gets around it up to the original line, it will be suspended and it will be able to stand up on its own. Now, one thing I forgot on that first tree that I planted, I always like to add a little bit of extra compost. This is actually donkey manure that's been cured and dried. That will really make these trees happy as they grow in these separate pots. Hopefully by this point you're excited to start your own peach trees from peach pits that you would have otherwise discarded. So I want to show you the process to do it. First of all, you've got to collect your peach pits. Now, with us, we usually can a lot of peaches ourselves at the end of the season. We'll buy from a farm market and do a bushel or half bushel, and we'll have plenty of peach pits to put together. But sometimes you'll have to collect them as you go. And when you have enough to be able to put into a plastic bag, put them in a bag with just a slightly damp paper towel, and then put them in the crisper drawer of your refrigerator. Wait about 2 weeks to a month, and then take them out and they're ready to go. The reason you do this is because peach pits need to be vernalized. Vernalization is a process in nature by which seeds or any other type of starter, a pit or a seed or a stone, they grow only after they've been activated by cold weather. It kind of almost like mimics a winter season. And so when the fruit falls in the fall, and then you've got the winter snows and cold, and then in the spring, these seeds want to start getting going. And that's exactly what you're doing when you put them in the fridge. I'm going to pour them out onto the pot. I put the soil in the pot that I used, the same sort of soil I used for the plants that we saw in the last segment. You want a loose soil, you want an outdoor potting mix, heavy compost, that sort of thing. And you want to make sure that as you look at your pits after the 2 weeks to a month that you don't have any that are moldy. There are none that have broken apart, like this one here is just busted apart and the shell is no longer viable. So we want to make sure that they are perfectly intact. So as I look at these and evaluate them, I've got one here that has a little bit of mold on it. That's really not too bad because it hasn't affected the inside of the shell. So I'm going to keep that one, and it doesn't look like any of the other ones have any problem at all. Notice that I have a lot of these. There are probably 30 pits here. I would recommend that if you're doing this on a smaller scale, you can do anywhere from 5 to 10. I would always do a little bit more than you think you want for trees because you don't know which ones are viable. Some of them just will not grow, and that's okay. So I have like probably 30 here, and I'm going to just start putting them around on the top of the soil. And again, the soil, this is probably a foot of soil. You could probably get away with half of that, and that would be fine, especially if you start replanting and reestablishing the trees, the young trees, in an earlier time when the roots haven't gotten too big or the tree itself hasn't gotten too big. But you see that I've spread these out, separated them all out, and made contact with the soil on all of them. Okay, now I'm going to just press down on this, make sure that there's good contact. You want them on their side, and they will grow upward and find the sun from there. Again, most of these probably will not grow, and that's fine because these are all free pits that would have been trash otherwise. Next, I'm going to take some of that same soil potting mix, and I'm going to put a layer on top of the pits. You want about a half an inch to an inch on top of them, just to cover them over so that none of them are poking out. And that is it. You water it lightly. You don't want to make divots or puddles in the soil, but you want to keep the soil moist through the process. You might start seeing some growth in a couple of weeks to a month. If you don't see any growth, don't worry. I've actually had pots before that I thought were totally not viable, and there was no growth at all. And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, I get the growth of the trees. You'll want to do this probably in the late summer or the late spring. The reason for the late summer is because at least you might be able to get some established before the winter happens. In the late spring, you'll have a longer runway until the winter. But in either case, you want to make sure that you don't have a full, incredible sun, hot on them. You want to put them in a place maybe under a shade tree or along the edge of the woods or along an outbuilding where it gets some shade during the day so that you don't fry these young seedlings as they come up. Make sure to keep them moist, not wet. I'm hoping that these peach pits here will grow into trees about the size of this one within the next year. I'm excited to see how that works and do it all over again. You know, we're enjoying planting a lot of trees, and we've done a big amount of peach pits. But you know, if you have just a balcony garden or a small garden and you want 1 or 2 trees, you can actually put them in pots like this. And if the pots are big enough and the roots are well taken care of, you can actually grow your trees in pots. It doesn't have to be a large homesteading operation. You can just have a small amount of plants and enjoy them that way. But you can do it all by yourself from pits that you would typically have thrown away. And that's kind of exciting. I really enjoy that type of thing. And I hope that this has been a really rewarding and thought-provoking project for you. So from our homestead to yours, blessings.